Come on.
Call them out.
Hey, what is a hell of cheap plug? But hey, I ain't judging, dog.
All right, Diego, let's hear from the man. What'd you watch within this last week?
I watched The History of Swear Words.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it's called? So fucking good. Nicolas Cage was meant for this fucking show.
He killed it. Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so awesome. So, yeah, I totally recommend streaming on Netflix exclusively. And for some fucking weird reason, I have decided to start watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from the beginning until space. So right now I am in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 2. Since I have a little extra time in my hands here and there. So yeah, so go check it out. But I think it's leaving Netflix. I think at the first 3 seasons or the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger seasons are staying, but certain seasons are leaving January 31st, I believe.
So they're keeping the ones that everybody cares about.
Yeah. Hey, Zio was pretty nice, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, my dog. But
yeah, I was a fan of Zio. I'll give you that.
You know what? I was a fan. I wasn't a fan of Turbo. I was a super fan of fucking In Space. Then after that, I was like, nope. Instead, but yeah, go check it out before. Go check out your favorite season of Power Rangers before it leaves Netflix. I'm really watching my favorite season, so go right ahead. Yo, shout out to the Green Ranger / White Ranger Tommy. You already know.
Jason, David, Frank.
But yeah, those are my 2 picks for this week.
Solid. So mine is pretty simple this week as well. It's interesting that you binged Power Rangers because mine is Batman the Animated Series. They just put it fucking finally on HBO Max in its entirety, and I've been waiting to do this. So yeah, I'm binging my way through season 1. And it's a whole lot of fun, you know, especially it's something you put in the background too while you're getting stuff done. And it's amazing.
Yeah. That's so fucking good, dude.
That's all fucking good right there, dude. Shit.
Memories.
Yeah.
It's so underrated. That show's really underrated, dude.
The music, dude, was always dope, dude.
Danny Elfman.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
Alright, so this week we're talking about Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. It's from 1998, although the US got it in 99, I believe. It's rated R. It's 107 minutes. It's a crime comedy. It's got a 75 on Rotten, written and directed by our man, Guy Ritchie, starring Vinnie Jones, Jason Statham, Nick Moran, Dexter Fletcher, Lenny McLean, Stephen McIntosh, Dacian Fleming, and Sting of the legendary Police. After Eddie loses a card game and gets in deep with the local smut-peddling crime boss, he and his friends decide to set up his neighbors who are themselves planning to rob some small-time drug dealers. As things go more and more wrong, it becomes apparent that Eddie and his pals have bitten off more than they can chew. Lock, Stock marked the arrival of director Guy Ritchie, who has since gone on to be a pretty prolific filmmaker, doing things such as Sherlock Holmes and the incredibly successful live-action version of Aladdin. But if we know a thing or two about Ritchie, you know that he is largely responsible for a generational wave of tough guy British crime caper dramedies. Such films like Snatch and Rock and Rolla come to mind. Guy had made a short film by the name of Hard Case prior to Lock, Stock, which was enough to get his crew and producers on board to film. Packed to the brim with Cockney humor and an amazing soundtrack which manages to set the stage for most of the characters in certain situations, although it's clear the film had somewhat of a slim budget, being made for the equivalent of $1.5 million. but then going on to earn over a 28 million globally. Thank you.
Nice.
So Tiny, let us know I know you love this movie, but what made you want to choose it this week? What's the relevance of it? What's your attachment to it?
Honestly, my attachment to this one, not so deep, dude. I just think it's a dope movie, and it's a very hard film, and I think it does good of showing. I like Guy Ritchie's focus on the British gangster films, as you said, and I think the movie is fun, man. And like you said, the rock music hits really good in this. The narrator, obviously Alan Ford, he really does set the tone for this film, and I think this film has really fun characters, and I feel like none of these characters are totally wasted. They get used perfectly, and I especially love how they show the characters doing stuff off film. Sometimes, like, they're not in a scene, they do separate scenes.
Yeah,
and someone's always doing something in this film. What else? And I like the crazy stir of events and fuckery that happens in this movie. It all climaxes pretty crazy and pretty dope. The ending, and I think it's really enjoyable, man. And I hope you guys liked it. It's pretty crazy film, dude. I thought it was good, and since most of you haven't seen it, I wanted to bring it to the podcast. So yeah, that's why I chose it. What would your guys' thoughts be? I know two of us haven't seen it, so maybe we could get James's opinion first.
Yeah, so I'm pretty familiar with Guy Ritchie's films, almost all of them. It's just this one I hadn't seen. I don't know what it was that maybe I don't know. I've only heard of it a few times, and I just didn't watch it. That's all I can really tell you. I'm not sure why I didn't watch it.
It's a long title, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe the long title. I was like, I don't know. Maybe this sounds kind of weird. I don't know. I couldn't, like I said, I can't really tell you why. But this is a really fun movie. It's definitely it's that style of Guy Ritchie that we're all familiar with. And in his earlier films, it's a very, very grainy type of shooting.
Yes.
And it makes it feel so much more. I don't know. It's just the feel of that makes it seem more not real, but I don't know, exciting or something. But,
maybe.
Yeah. The dialogue between everybody. I don't know what it is. I was talking to Wes about it earlier. Their dialogue between each other is just so like their slang and everything. I don't know. I love that stuff. It just sounds so cool when they say it. I think that's a really that's a selling point for a lot of his movies, because most of his movies are people from the UK, so it makes sense. And then I don't know, it's a really enjoyable movie. I really did enjoy this pick. It's my first time seeing it, so definitely will be watching it again. I'll probably end up buying this on Blu-ray or 4K.
Yeah, dude, I agree,
Nice.
dude. I want to see it on Blu-ray. It is fucking grainy, dude, because I don't have the Blu-ray version. But I don't know if that would help it.
No, I don't think so, because I watched it on, I think it was Amazon Prime. It was what it was on, or Hulu or something.
Yeah, Amazon
Prime.
But, Amazon Prime. But they, it's a digital copy, so I would assume that that's as good as it's going to get, just because of the, like Wes said, the low budget that they had. I know a lot of his earlier movies are this type of grainy-ish type of film. So, I did enjoy it. That's not a negative at all.
Awesome.
By me saying that, I like the feel of that type of. It reminds me a lot of 28 Days Later, how that film is kind of really. It's the same type of graininess.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, because Danny Boyle is known for, at least his earlier stuff was exactly like that. That's a great comparison, actually.
Yes.
Very good, dude. Yeah.
Who else hadn't seen it?
Diego, maybe?
No, I've seen it before.
You seen it before? Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your takes on it since we're doing an episode on it?
I've always been a fan of Guy Ritchie. I think for me, especially now, he means a lot more than usual because studying his filmography, I think, is one of the most interesting ones, and you see a rise of an underdog in this. And for me, this film in particular, I remember seeing it with my high school sweetheart. Actually, I remember the first time because I had bought Snatch, and she was like, "You've never seen this movie before?" And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, I've never seen it. So she put it on, and I remember we bought it. It was like, I was like, holy shit, this movie's fucking wild and funny. And I kind of went through my like UK kind of phase of like watching a lot of UK films, and it's all thanks to Guy Ritchie. If it wasn't for Guy Ritchie, I wouldn't have watched Once, wouldn't have watched Closer, Green Street Hooligans, a lot of different movies that came out from the UK around the mid 2000s to early 2000s and stuff. So yeah, this film is really particularly good because I'm a huge soccer fan, of course, a lot of you guys know. So watching Vinnie Jones in this and especially being his first role, is kind of one of the coolest things, especially him educating his son, which he does work with him, is kind of cool. It's awesome to see somebody from a crossover star, I want to say. Yeah, so Guy Ritchie's always been one of my favorite. I want to say one of the guys I like to study. So watching this film just kind of reminisce on like, yo, man, like if this guy did it on this budget, you could do it. Like especially with everything you have at your disposal, like there's no way you can't be successful.
Wait, Vinnie Jones used to play soccer?
Yeah,
he's a football player.
I did not know that.
yeah.
I know him from every single movie that I've seen him in. He's always the angry, like he's like the muscle that I always see him in all of his earlier movies. He's like the fucking badass you bring in to beat someone's ass. Yeah.
He actually got banned from soccer, actually, because of his temper.
Oh, wow. Makes sense.
Yeah. He's, Vinnie Jones, if you ever just go check out his highlights, Vinnie Jones was a aggressive player, but he was a really good one. And it's a shame that his career got cut short, but we got him in the movie business, so so that's cool.
Plus, his aggression in the acting, dude, that's dope.
I mean, to be an X-Men and to be to be in that type of blockbuster movie considered at that time, it's awesome.
To make that transition, because a lot of athletes to do that, and they fall very short of being successful and find their way into all these B and C movies. But he chose the right path, and he was able to become a star out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
This is also Jason's first film, dude. Stadium.
Oh shit!
It is I'm pretty sure, and it felt good not to see him kick everyone's ass for once. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Jason Statham shines brighter when he's not the main star. When he's in the back, the Bank Job or the Italian Job, the movies like that, where he's not so much like the main star, or he's not an assassin or mercenary, what have you. I love those roles because he gets to, just have fun and he's not trying to do all this choreography, because some of that stuff, I don't know if it's just the Transporter franchise really they